my beautiful friends, my name's Becc and welcome back to my channel about medicine, med school and being a doctor in Australia. I'm currently in my second year of being a junior doctor in Melbourne and life's been really fun but also pretty crazy. I'm really excited to bring this video today and I'm really excited to be bringing you more videos from the present time in parallel with my med school vlogs, which I'll keep trickling out. I hope you enjoy it and get so much out of it. These thoughts truly change my life every day. 5 thoughts. Number 1, to want what we already have. I love this one so much. Instant joy is hiding right here. Have you guys ever had that experience where you've achieved something or even just bought something that you've wanted for so long? Most likely because you thought your life would be fantastic or better in some way once you got there. You finally achieve it, you revel in it for a few moments, days maybe if you're lucky, and then you just move on to the next thing. Most recently, I've realized I've done this with finishing med school, buying a house, and living in Melbourne. These are things that I've strived for a while, like finishing med school, or I know I'm actually really lucky to have been able to buy a house, live in Melbourne. But what the old version of me would do, and what I still catch myself doing sometimes, is just forget about it. Just move on to the next thing. I can see how this can be hard because in the past I would have thought either that it's arrogant or being too proud to feel that you're reveling in these things, or the other concern I think is that you feel content and then you don't try anymore. You don't try for the next thing because you're so happy where you are right now. It's not about that. It's just about appreciation and gratefulness for all the wonderful things that you have in your life. So I encourage you wherever you are to step back, take stock of your life, have a look at what you've been striving for, what you've achieved so far. When I was in med school, even though my big goal for the time was to finish med school, each semester I'd make sure I tried to appreciate finishing each semester. And that would fuel me for the next semester or take me out of some kind of sad rut. Nothing will be the same in 1 year. And there will be things that you miss from your current life, even if you don't miss the whole picture. There are things in your life to appreciate and love and be so grateful for right now. So don't waste another day not appreciating what you have. Remember what it's like to want what you have now but you didn't have back then. And try and want what you have now. It's so fun. I hope you guys really feel and enjoy this one. Number 2, it will never get better than this. I've heard this and had this said to me so many different times over my life. Enjoy the journey. You'll only ever have this moment, etc, etc. Now, this year, it's finally landed for me. Goals are such a positive thing in our lives, certainly in my life, but I'd never quite realized, like I have now, how much we can miss out on life because of them. This is such an important concept in medicine, guys, because you'll always have a next step. It's such a long journey and it spans over some of the most important, amazing years of your life, from when you're a young adult all the way through to your early 30s or 40s, depending on what specialty you choose and when you start. And I don't want you guys to waste all those precious years when you could be enjoying your life, and I don't want that for myself either. You get into medicine, however long that takes you, whether you go straight from college or you wait a few years or you do an undergrad to get in. You do med school itself. Then you spend your junior doctor years trying to get onto specialty training. That might be delayed by sheer numbers, or you trying to meet the requirements, research courses, certain experience. You do the specialty training and that might be delayed by passing your exam or family things that come up in that time that make your compulsory placements difficult or your exams. And then you're finally a consultant, but it doesn't end there. Often you need to do a fellowship depending on what specialty you do and where you want to work, and that's usually another year. And then when you do your first years as a consultant, you need to take time to establish yourself and earn your place amongst your colleagues. Again, depending on where you want to work. So this is your life. It's probably embedded in your personality or in your morals about who you want to be on this earth, that you will always continue to strive. You'll always challenge yourself. You'll always be stretched and striving towards something. And life will be difficult because of that. You create your life. You create the life that you want. I realized I tricked myself into this fallacy, telling myself things like, I'll be happy when X happens. I can relax when Y happens. Life will be easy when Z happens. I'll feel proud when A happens, X again. What's the traditional convention here? Maybe I should have started with W. I want to throw that all away. I want to try and delete those thoughts from my mind. For me, whenever I find myself upset or unappreciative of my current circumstances, for me at the moment, it's usually my junior doctor work schedule and all the hidden extra things you have to do as a part of being a junior doctor in your free time. And if I want to feel happy, if I want to feel proud, if I want to feel relaxed, I can find things in my life right now that make me feel that way. This one's more about looking forwards, or when you're feeling disheartened, realizing that you can enjoy that journey ahead, even if it's difficult. This is important to me because I want to be someone who finds enjoyment in A, the journey and the uncertainty, and B, also the simple and mundane things in life. You can do that all along this long, long, long journey. I know I can, but I sometimes forget. Putting this idea, it never gets better than this, at the front of my mind is hard, but it's also so empowering and wonderful and fun to do it. The third thought that has changed my life is you do have enough time. You just don't have good enough priorities. This is so relevant to me, and it's so annoying when I catch myself, because not having enough time is something that I do tend to complain about. It's so difficult if you're anything like me, which I'm sure you are if you're trying to do something like medicine or some kind of profession in general. You want a lot out of life. You're willing to work really hard. You're willing to do a lot to get a lot back and really experience the world, use your life. This is something you'll share a struggle with me. Feeling that there's never enough time. This idea was really embedded into me and landed through Seth Godin. Seth Godin is this amazing public figure. He's got the best Instagram at the moment. He puts up short little books, and you swipe through and read like a 10-sentence little fable or little lesson that you can use in your life really quickly. I always find he keeps me really straight and accountable when I'm letting myself have excuses or thinking about things in a non-productive way. So check him out. I'll link him down below. He also has a podcast. Medicine is so time consuming. You work more than full-time hours, and on top of that, there are extra requirements that you need to progress through your career path, or even just to do your job at the moment better. You need to do things for medicine outside of your working hours. I'm also someone who has really wide interests, and I love deep diving into different things. So that's why this thought is so impactful for me. Whenever I find myself saying to myself or to other people that I don't have enough time, or feeling sad or overwhelmed that I don't have enough time, that's probably the thing that makes me the most sad in my life at any point. This feeling that I've wasted time or I don't have enough time, it makes me deeply sad. I do actually recognize these thoughts and feelings now as me acting like a victim in the scenario, when really what I'm saying is that I don't have my priorities straight right now. And I'm a big believer in reassessing your priorities regularly, because your life's very dynamic. Opportunities come in and out, and you're constantly assimilating new information. That means at any point you might make different decisions from what your past self has made. So how I tackle this is by journaling and then constantly updating my plans. I journal to get out all of these competing ideas and opportunities onto a page and see them next to each other. Then I can rank them in terms of importance, and when I get stuck, I look at questions like, what will be the outcomes in my life if I do X, or if I don't do X? A really good structure for this is Fear Setting by Tim Ferriss. If you don't know him, I'll link a few resources to him down below. He is also a totally incredible person to learn from if you haven't yet. Then I use my digital calendar, which is Apple Calendar for me. iCal, I don't really know what it's called right now, the Apple Calendar. And I will mark and block out when I'm planning to actually fit those things into my life. Depending on what things I'm looking at, I'll plan it for the next month, the next 3 months, or even the next year. Number 4, you grow what you give your attention to. This thought helps me with the same problem of having too many things that I want to do, and then being disappointed when certain parts of my life or my projects aren't doing well. It's been really empowering for me to realize how important it is to be purposeful with my attention. It really makes me feel like I've got great control over my life, and we all love that feeling. It's not really real, but we love the feeling. We need to be purposeful with our attention. It is the most powerful thing that we have. It's more powerful than time, because if you use your attention well, you can create more time. If you do a project or task more effectively or more productively, you're minimizing your time spent on one task, and then it leaves more time for the next one. But you can also do this by prioritizing your tasks such that a task that you do now makes other tasks or projects less arduous or have less parts to them, or it's more efficient because you've done X before Y. Now, this is quite a clear and easy concept when it comes to work and study and creating, doing projects. But where it's also important for me is remembering that it applies to things like thoughts, emotions, relationships, confidence, and health as well. For example, a really important one, you need to invest in your thoughts to really believe them and let them become a genuine part of your life. If you make the effort each day to look out for things to be grateful for, if your mindset is to be a more grateful and appreciative person, that will eventually become more of a default in your life. But you need to invest in that thought. You need to give attention and effort into that thought to make it that default habit of yours. Although I might still feel some disappointment, I'm not as surprised surprised or feel like hopeless if some part of my life isn't doing very well, if I have a look and see I haven't actually been giving it much attention. It's really empowering. You have total control of your attention. Give something your attention and watch it grow. You're just gonna make your decision. That can be hard. Now, my final thought that has changed my life is we all have our special thing. This one's by Marie Forleo. I'm actually gonna look her up because I want to get this right. Yeah, okay, so the Marie Forleo is a business entrepreneur that I listened to a lot in my final year of med school, and I just found her so empowering and just such an upbeat personality. Of course, I'll link her down below. Her idea is that you need to be the most fully yourself because the world needs that special gift that only you have. She signs up everything with that, and I believe it wholeheartedly. This idea is such a revelation to me because I learned this idea from school that we pick our profession and that then there's this ideal professional avatar in said profession, and that the whole point of your journey to get in and work in that profession is to strive to evolve and build ourselves in to fit that avatar box, the perfect version of that professional. This might resonate with a lot of you guys too who are at the early stages of your professional career. If you're going into one of those traditional careers like doctor, lawyer, engineer, dentist, accounting, finance, you might have a picture of somebody specific you aspire to or what you think is the ideal, perfect professional in that area. I actually believe the total opposite now. They're not straightforward. There's no simple or single answer in most cases. You're an expert because of your opinions, not because you could go from A to B to C to D. Anybody can follow that path and find the right answer if there is such a thing. Professionals use their expertise, their experience to find an answer that's best suited and personalized to their patient, their customer, or their client. I believe our professions are lucky to have our uniqueness. Our uniqueness is what's going to keep moving our profession forward and evolving in a very quickly evolving world around us, where we're all demanding more and wanting better from the services that we pay for. I think you'll do the greatest good in your lifetime. For me, living your life in the world is all about creating the greatest good. That's what I think about. And I think you'll do the greatest good in your lifetime if you strive to be the most full version of yourself, if you become the most full you. It's great to become that professional avatar in some ways, but to do that, you're going to suppress parts of yourself that are fantastic and hold parts of yourself back that could really benefit the world. You have a unique combination of natural strengths and weaknesses and interests and motivations that will serve some part and populations of the world incredibly in ways that I couldn't or other people around you couldn't. It's hard to carve your own path and be your own person because it's lonely. You haven't got all that social proof, people around you doing the same thing that's reassuring. I believe that it is worth it because that is how I think you'll make the greatest good. Never aim to be normal, be inspired by others, but don't aim to be exactly like them. Please, for me and everybody else in the world, be your fullest self. It is something that I'm constantly working on and trying to redirect, straighten my path out day after day after day as well. They are my 5 thoughts that have changed my life recently. Check out the people I've mentioned, I'll link them down below. Their ideas and ways of looking at the world have changed my life at different points of my life, at times that I could hear what they had to offer. I know that there will be something in there, and I hope there's been something in this video that does the same for you. If you want to start using any of these thoughts in your life right now, what are we waiting for? Let's do a little bit now. Comment below and let's help each other be better. Tell us about a goal that you're striving towards, that you have one of those stories in your head. I can feel proud when I reach X goal. And tell me whether you've been holding back parts of your life where you could feel happy or relaxed or like things are easier, you could feel proud, waiting for that goal, when you can feel that right now, at least at different times in your days or weeks. Thank you so much for joining me watching this video. Give it a like if you liked it, subscribe to my channel, let me know if you have any questions. Watch out for my med school vlogs that'll keep coming out as well.